Okay, welcome everybody to the Referral Challenge Q&A Mastermind call for Friday, October 6th. Regarding updates, you guys are all in 2.1, so this doesn't really, well, it does apply to you to some degree. We've restructured the way that we're delivering the format, the order that we're delivering content in. And you guys have been bearing with us for many, many months now in terms of just sort of in the content delivery. We're going to be cleaning that up because it's very important for you guys to understand that we're not going anywhere, and you're going to be with us as long as you want to stay with us. And so we're going to clean up set up one, this is the goal, is to set up one section within the Kajabi member site that everybody accesses. So there's no more 2.1, 2.2, blah, blah, blah. There'll just be one area, everything's there, and it'll be in a very specific order. And we're at the point now, finally, where we can do that in a clean way, because really the only other addition we've got to make is the partner referrals, and that's coming quickly. And so once we get that in place, we're going to reorganize everything in one spot and send you out a new revised table of contents so you can see where everything is. Of course, you'll have access to the member site, and it'll be much more organized, cleaner presentation, and then we'll just optimize from there, but everything will stay in the same place. It'll just be improved upon. So that's really the only update I've got. Aaron, do you have anything?
I do not.
Okay. All right. Well, then let's dig in here. Oh, good. Wayne's here too. All right. All right, Adrian, let's start with you, man. Give us an update. Let us know specifically. I'm interested in hearing how you address this issue. You posted on it, but anything else you want to share as well?
Yep. So just general updates. I'll start there. I haven't done, like, this whole month for me has just seemed to be focusing solely on what the business needs as far as like staff development goes, and developing systems around holding staff accountable and things of that nature. So that's literally been the theme of all of the month of September, and even starting now in October, which is good, because that's kind of usually what happens in my case, where if things aren't working out, I learn it the hard way, but then I correct. So that's just been the theme of the past month, has been systems around staff and how to hold them accountable and having everything structured. The most important development for me has been, I guess, realizing the influence of having a vision, a shared mission for the company, and then core values for the team. Like that helps, because I think it gives me a lot of security in making decisions. And it also, even moving forward in the future, it more easily explains staff turnover. So it's good, because it gives the members something to buy into as well. That's been the biggest takeaway for me. But otherwise, just general updates. I'm getting an admin in place. Been onboarding her this week, and then her first day is Monday, so I'll be there with her. And then my next hire is going to be straight for somebody who wants to be a facility manager. So somebody who wants that position where they're overseeing things and they can become the face of that facility. So that's my immediate next hire. So that's what I'm working toward right now. So it's a good learning curve for me. That's general updates right there. And then the situation that I posted about in the Facebook group has just been, ever since those two trainers have left, so Adam and Lydia, ever since they left, there's been weight on members' shoulders, and the coaches have been affected by it as well. And it got me down too over time, and it was really frustrating. And the biggest thing that was really frustrating and like emotionally getting to me is the conflict. You know, I hated the conflict. I didn't like, I definitely didn't enjoy how Adam and Lydia were talking about me, and that added to it, because then certain members started thinking that I was the bad guy in all of this. And I couldn't handle that. But I just ignored it. But it was getting to me emotionally still, and I know that it was affecting my energy as I presented myself to the room, sometimes to the members, sometimes to the coaches, but definitely more so to the coaches, because I think that when we're setting the tone, when we're setting the environment, it has to start with us. And that that bleeds down into the client's experience. Like, we can't expect the clients to try and lift us up. That's not how it works. So I think it got to a point where I just got frustrated by it. I think like my frustration outweighed my fear, I think, is the point at which I got to, which happens to me sometimes. Like, that's one of the benefits of me being emotional in a way. Cause if I get frustrated about something, I'm going to do something about it, you know? And I think that's the point I just got to. So I was really scared and nervous, but I wrote up that agreement that I posted about in the group. And basically, it was just like, we got to move on with our crap here. Like, we got to get our act together. This is the mission. This is the vision. These are the core values that we live by. And if you're not going to sign off on this thing, then I have your termination papers ready. You know, I didn't present it like that, obviously, because that wouldn't have gone over so well. But it was a unifying effort. Like, I basically sat both of my coaches down and said, hey, look, yeah, we've been through a lot, and not every day is going to be sunshine and rainbows. It just isn't. Like, it can't be, you know? And so I think that the teams that really work together and that make it through obstacles and difficulties are really, really good teams, because then we know that we can handle the stuff that's not so good rather than trying to hope that every day is great. You know, so I think that was a good unifying moment for us. Both the coaches signed off on it, which was good. So there wasn't too much disagreement about it at all, actually. They kind of just silently nodded their heads. I think they understood it. I made sure that they got every single bit of it. We read over it line by line, right? And that's how it worked. And so then I painted the picture of the future of what we're doing and really getting them involved behind that, because in essence, what we're doing now is creating this prototype, this blueprint of how we're going to do things and who we are and what we're about. And everything in that, from staff accountability to the member experiences, is being developed and fleshed out for the first time in full writing by me. So I think it's good because they're invested in where we're going and how we help people and what we're doing and what we're about. So it was a good meeting to have, and it needed to happen, because otherwise I was getting really frustrated by it. And it was good. It was hard. I was still worried because I was scared that if one of them didn't sign it, then I would have to get rid of them and then explain that to the members. And that would have been chaotic and more crazy. But otherwise, it was good. I think that I'm learning a lot. I think the team is learning a lot about what it means to go through stuff and not try and act like things are okay, but learn how to work together and put your game face on and get through it. So
I'm sorry, Eric, go ahead.
Well, the point that I was going to make is I think congratulations, number one, well done. And the benefit of, you know, conflict is always tough. There's no doubt, but you gain clarity by dealing with it. And I think it almost always, if you approach it from a perspective of your values, and you know that you've had integrity in your actions, you know, if you can look at what you've done and you can say, hey, you know, certainly I make mistakes, I'm a human being, but ultimately I've been true to my values, I've been honest.
Yep.
You can stand firmly and hold your ground and present your perspective on the whole thing, and then of course lead them forward. And I think you did all that, and you gained clarity as a result, because you also, I think in their eyes, I'm sure, became a stronger leader.
Yeah. And Wayne asked a question in the chat about how I explained the vision to them in such a way that they got on board. Well, I made it a collective thing, that's for sure. Like, I didn't just, and Aaron pointed this out to me too. You never want to make things just about a person, but you always want to bring everybody involved. So the language we used was we, us, the team, never just I, me, or you. So that's one way we did it, Wayne. And I know you're on listen only mode, so I'm just talking to you, but like collectively speaking to the group as a whole, saying we, us, the team, not you, me, or I, or anything like that, barring any sort of personal responsibility, you know, but getting them involved and you know, judging their reaction. You know, like, it was a very somber meeting for us. It wasn't like hooray and hurrah, but it was very like, okay, this is what we got to do. Like, let's be about it, you know. And I think you can tell when they're ready and open it up to questions. Always be willing to get their feedback. Don't ever assume that your team members are on the same page as you, ever. I learned that the hard way the past month. So I asked them, as we went through each line item, I basically said, all right, moving on. We got that? Okay. But I'm very open to them asking questions. And that's what helps, because the more you let your team ask questions, the more buy-in that they get, you know? And if they want to challenge you a little bit, then it's good, because there's that productive form of conflict, which is necessary. It's healthy conflict, like siblings arguing, but they're still going to get to the outcome.
Right.
You know?
It's almost like a debate. You're almost debating points, and yeah.
Yep, exactly. So that's how you know, Wayne, I think. Does that help into your, okay, good.
And let me just add to that. I think specifically when it comes to vision, I think vision needs to be rooted in emotion.
Yeah.
Particularly, you know, because I think of like Mel Gibson in Braveheart, or General Patton in front of his troops, that kind of thing. I mean, those are extremes, no doubt, but there needs to be an emotional context to your vision statement, because it's future pacing and you want them on board.
Yeah. And that's where a lot of where your emotion, if you can show how you speak with your body and how you can get, like, not necessarily fired up, but if you can show some emotion when you're speaking to them about your vision, it shows even further. You know, like for me, like I get really frustrated when people let life take over, or when obstacles in life get them down and they think they can't do anything about it. Like that really frustrates me, because I see my mom still doing that to this day, and my dad to an extent, and that bothers me. So part of our vision, the main part of our vision, is helping people overcome obstacles, solve problems, to show themselves that they can do it. You know, that's a big part of it. And I get amped up about that. And I think people can see that when I move with my body, talking about it. And that helps convey not just what you're saying, but how you're saying it. And the more you can get around that, it's much easier for people to get behind it too, because they can feel it.
Yeah.
And just like they teach in because you're selling people on the idea. So it's a transference of emotion.
Exactly.
You know, and that's how it's got to be.
Yeah. Well said.
So, Adrian, what you didn't mention, though, is the conversation you and I had about your future moving forward. Do you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I can. So, Aaron and I had a conversation about, not last week, or not just yesterday, but a week ago, where he kind of like sat me down and helped me realize that the goals that I had were impotent, which is a good word for it. But a lot of what happened was he helped me realize kind of where I want to take this thing and what direction I want to move forward in. So the old plan was to expand the current space into a bigger one and then almost like double the size. But I'm realizing now that actually I really enjoy the small, intimate, personal feel that our current facility has at about 300 members. So what I'm going to do is prototype this thing and then open up location number 2, but not as a fit body, as something completely different under a different DBA. And that'll be the new thing that we become. And then once my franchise agreement ends with fit body, location number 1 will become whatever number 2 is. And then down the road, we open number 3. So the goal is to have 3 locations far away enough from each other, so the marketing it's not incessive pretty much. And then that becomes the vision. So 300 members at each location with a team of 4 staff members at each location is the current goal. So the mission that I have changed as well. And that excites me more than doubling the size and scope of one location.
And speak to the timelines that we put, because you need to be accountable and everybody's about to hold you. So go.
Yep. So right now, location number 2 needs to happen by March 1st. And then location number 3, what do we set for that, Aaron? Because I don't actually think we talked about location number 3.
We did talk about it the following January.
Oh, okay. That's right. In January. There we go. So March 1st for location number 2 in 2018, and then January 2019 for number 3, which is why, going back to what I said earlier, how my very, very next hire right now is going to be for that facility manager. and making sure that I have checklists in place as they relate to the core values and the vision and the mission, so that this person can hit the ground running and have it streamlined, which is something that I haven't been responsible in doing. So that's the mission. If you guys can hold me accountable to that, right, that would be great. I'm not expecting you to, but that'd be nice. So that's my timeline.
That's great. Now, it's good to have that. I mean, it's great to have the timeline. But in terms of location number 3, that will be contingent upon number 2 is up, running, and cranking as planned prior to a commitment to number 3, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yep.
But you got to have a big audacious goal to go for.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you don't have a vision. You have a job.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hear you. And are you reverse engineering your numbers, or maybe not even reverse engineering, but making decisions based on numbers for number 2 so that you know your margins are where they need to be and all that stuff?
Yeah, exactly. So once this facility manager position gets all fleshed out, all the details are there, the margins are set, and then I know exactly what I need to do for number 2. That's the immediate first and foremost goal, right? Because you guys have, I think, said it enough for the magics and the margins. So I know you need to pay attention to that.
Yeah, so true. I mean, Aaron and I just had a conversation with a young lady the other day that was interesting, and she owns a facility out in Southern California that is sort of, it's not an Orange Theory, but it's similar model.
Yeah.
And she has 307 members, and she's not at break even. She needs 325 to break even. Yeah. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That's a bad model. You know, there are issues. The model might not be bad, but her overhead's out of control. It's it's one or the other. But it's just so vital. Your business needs to be profitable at that. You know, I mean, and this is a reason. It's not a huge facility. This is a reasonably sized facility. I don't know, 2,000, 2,500 square feet, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to have those numbers squared away. Well, that's great, man. That's good stuff, Adrian.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Yeah, not much else. So.
Okay. All right. Very good. Well, then let's move right along. Wayne, can you talk? Or I know you mentioned there's some issues with the computer, but do you want to? Can you talk at all, or not? No. Okay. All right. Then Aaron Lindauer, let's go to you. Aaron, give us an update. Let us know how you're doing, and clarify for me. I didn't see the post. If you posted something recently about this donation that you just made, if you could mention that too.
Yes. Today was the first check that we cut to our charity. So today, I added up all of our check-ins. We had 156 check-ins, and then we did bring a friend weeks for 2 weeks. And so if someone had their friend join our program, we donated 100 as well per person. So I'm still following up, so I'm not done with that, but we did have one person sign up, and then for the check-ins, I did 50 cents. So it was $178 was the first check. So.
Awesome. Congratulations. That's fantastic. And did you deliver the check yourself? Did you do all that bit?
You know, I would have, but I had a call. So my point of contact came to me, which was nice, but I want to go into the hospital and get that photo. And he wanted to give me a hospital tour, which I was like, no, I'm good. Been there.
Yeah.
I was like, I toured it enough. We're good. But
excellent.
So anyways, he was kind of neat to touch base again, because now we have our 10-year anniversary coming up, and we're going to host a huge event. So it's going to be a First Friday event where we'll have 3 local artists. One of the artists is actually going to be the kids from this hospital. So that's going to be really cool. So they use art therapy. There's actually a person on staff at the hospital that they do art therapy. So we'll get to highlight the kids' work. I don't know if it will be for sale or if it's just for show, but either way, I'm kind of excited to have that tie in. Then we'll have 2 other local artists. Then we'll put the push-ups for charity piece in there. So how we've structured it is each of our fitness professionals has 30 to 40 clients, and so they're asking each of those clients to donate 50 cents to $1 for their push-up, and however many push-ups they can do in 90 seconds. So basically we'll have our event start at 6 p.m. and then 7 p.m. we'll do the push-ups piece. And so that like literally takes 90 seconds. So then basically it'll just be a wine and dine kind of thing, hang out. But I ran the numbers, so if only half of our clients donated, which is not going to happen, we'll raise $2,200 minimum. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Beautiful.
And that's saying our Fit Pros can only do 40 push-ups.
Yeah. You know, you ought to talk to your point of contact at the hospital and see if you can't get some media attention on this thing, you know?
So they do, and with this being such a large organization, so he asked me, he was like, hey, what can I do to help? And so I was like, all right, they're even going to provide me a website for all the donations to go on so people can pay online, which I thought that was really nice, so we don't have to eat the processing fees. I guess they do. But you're
a nonprofit. Well, it's probably set up as a nonprofit, but go ahead.
Yeah, it's a foundation. So yeah, that's a great point. So asking him what media he could potentially catch wind of this, because man, if we could have a news station there.
Oh, no doubt. Especially to battle that situation you were mentioning a month or so ago, the WNBA girl or whoever it was that.
Yes, and they've already done their soft launch.
Yeah, because it would be great for you to get, you know, if you could break into the publicity and then keep that momentum going, make some contacts there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the check-in for charity, you know, I don't know why it took me so long to grasp it, but we had 156 check-ins. That's 39 check-ins per week. That's 6.5 check-ins per day. So there's 6.5 people posting on their Facebook pages, putting our business in front of their eyes, even if it was just for a second scrolling. So I was like, duh, you know, this is perfect. So I get it. I see it, you know.
Yeah. What are you using an image? Have you disseminated an image to your people that they can upload to? No?
No, just encouraged, we've encouraged memes or have fun with it, but it would be good to make my own branded, especially when we were doing Bring a Friend. It probably would have been smart to say, hey, here's our Bring a Friend image, or here's this month's focus or something. Because, you know, even I've had to find ways to post my check-in to keep it fun, you know, because it does kind of, yep, checking in again.
Yeah. But, okay, good. So let me ask you this. So you said 6.5 a day. How many total sessions on average are you doing a day? How many clients do you have?
We have over 60 classes per week. So this is hardly anybody's participating.
Yeah. So it sounds like you got a lot of room for growth there.
Yeah. Oh, there's a tremendous amount of room for growth. Yes.
Yeah, well, a good start is to share this whole story, you know, with your check and with everybody, all your clients. Let them know, hey, we're pushing this thing hard. We just really love your help. It's going to a good cause. Here's who we're helping, that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely. So I posted a whole long thing in our private group about, you know, thank you, number one. Because of you and your check-in, this is what we were able to do. And then kind of going a little bit further, when I was talking with my point of contact, he said, because we specifically selected our monies going towards maternal and newborn health. And so he shared some statistics, which I thought were pretty alarming. In Indiana, we have 7 out of every live birth, or 7 out of 1,000 live births pass away in their first year of life. And it's lack of resources, safe sleep habits, and that's the same as almost a third world country. And so this is the only hospital in Indiana, and it's centrally located, but there's just the plethora of people that are not getting the care. They're not. So it's just been an interesting. So it was even interesting because I was at my midwife well, I guess this will give everybody away. I am pregnant again. And so we were, yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you, I think.
Yeah. Awesome. You know what causes that, don't you?
What did you just say?
You know what causes that, don't you?
Yeah, I sure do. Yeah, it was elective. How red am I?
Well, congratulations.
If I could call them all right now, I would. But what was interesting is they even have a person that is to reach out to me, and she did, and she even was just talking about all my prenatal care and what to do. And I said to her, I was like, look, hey, I just want you to know this is what I'm doing as a company to raise money. I said, I understand your efforts, but I personally don't need them, but I need you to continue doing what you're doing. And it was actually an interesting conversation. So anyways, I say all that to say, when you believe in something so strongly, it makes doing the work pretty easy. So that I'm excited to have this. You know, the 10-year anniversary is going to be awesome. Thankfully, it's not our first rodeo, so I'm not too amped about it. I just got to get it pushed out. So it's now just marketing it. I think one of my biggest hangups that I'm having, and it's two parts. So I've got the Smart Start or the private Facebook page. I have to get this launched. And all it is I don't know. I don't even know why I can't get it out the door. I think it's just there's so many different parts. And so my reason for saying all this is I just sold a whole week's worth of work to one of our corporate accounts, so several $1,000s of work. And they're also going to allow me to highlight this private page, but I have to get it done.
Yeah.
And so
I'll tell you a quick way, something that you can eliminate or come back to later is the video. You know, the video it can be very, very powerful component, but it's interesting. My experience was when I created that, I thought, here's a simple tool. It ended up being not simple at all for a lot of people. It was challenging. Chris just got it banged out quickly, but he's the exception. A lot of folks still haven't even done it, and they're kind of hung up on that. And now I'm thinking, geez, that was a strategic error on my part. That should have been added at the end, not at the beginning. So that's something that you can just.
And Chris was really nice. Because I was like, I just need to see it in action. So Chris added me to his group, and now I've seen it in play. I've got the video done. So that's done.
Okay.
I've got the page created. I've got the domain. Chris shared his landing pages. So all I have to do is make them TFW, which I actually asked one of my employees. I was like, hey, can you figure this out? Because it's just, I think it's just the amount of work. It's not that I can't do the work. It's just the amount of things on my plate, which is all of us.
Yeah.
And I think I'm getting hung up with the different steps, maybe. I don't know.
Well, if there is a particular place, if you kind of outline where you are and what you're looking at, and if you find that there's a hang up somewhere, just reach out to me or to Aaron, and we'll work with you to get it up and running. Or if you want to handle it right on this call, we can do that. I mean, it's your call, it's your decision, but we want to help you and definitely want you to be able to take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah, because I can see where it will go, especially I have two basically health fair booths coming up, and what a perfect way is, hey, we've got, Get Fit Indianapolis, join our free private Facebook group where you'll get daily information, blah, blah, blah. So I get that piece of it. I think it's just all the groundwork for the journal, So do I not maybe understand, these are just some very nice things to over deliver?
Well, no, the journal's critical because that's your lead magnet. That's what getting them on the opt-in. The opt-in's so important. You want to make sure that you get that opt-in. So that's why you've got that welcome post, that pinned post. You can basically customize, copy, paste, boom, put that in. then you're going to need to have the landing page, the opt-in page set up. But that can be very quick and easy, giving you the outline for it. I mean, I say quick and easy. Nothing's quick and easy. We know that, but it's relatively simple, particularly if you can delegate it out. But you do need to have that PDF. The print version, you're not going to need that until you start having people come in for your charity workouts. But the PDF you can customize fairly rapidly. I imagine all the stuff that needs customization you have somewhere. You just have to copy and paste it in.
Okay.
Testimonials and things like that. But I hear you. I know that there like everything, there are steps. What's most important to me, to Aaron, is that people understand the big picture of this and the opportunity in front of you, because now you have, when you get this thing in place, you have this evergreen, really significant offer that you can make to people that has tremendous value. And it can become something that you just drive consistently in every communication you make. You know, unless you're overtly promoting a specific campaign or something like that, every email you send out, every post you make on Facebook, anything that you do to market your business can be, hey, join our free Facebook group. And, you know, we start to get, I was just doing some review on Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point book, which is just fantastic. And I was just trying to remember certain things, and I went back and reviewed that. And, you know, there's 3 key points that he has in terms of producing a tipping point. And that's, and number 1 is getting, leveraging connectors, salespeople, mavens, he calls them, people of influence. We call them HIPs, high impact people. So there's absolutely ways that we can do that. And your clients are certainly some of them. The other 2 points, I'm not coming there, but anyway, that's what we're getting at, is trying to push this thing towards a tipping point. It will be slow and steady initially, but I think you get to a certain period, and this is what Alicia's told me about her group, and I've heard from others who have successful groups, John Spencer Ellis, for instance. They're B2B, but still, it's the same principle applies. You get to a certain number, and the engagement is there, and the excitement is there, and then it tips, and it starts growing organically at a very significant rate, and that's the objective. Well, that's part of the objective. The other part is conversion, of course. But I think all the pieces are in place. So I'm sorry to rant, but I hope that everybody can see this, the strategic objective, the strategic big picture, and of course the clear benefit to you to do it.
Yeah, I definitely do, because it was like, actually, I do have something that I can offer, which was, and for me, it's a way to collect leads. So that's, you know, just a fantastic way, or at least it's like a soft entry point to then getting.
Exactly. It's the lowest of low barrier offers, but it's compelling. It's not like, hey, download my cookbook, or, hey, you know, here's 16 tips, but it's not. This is, you know, they can interact with you. They get a workout a day, a recipe of the day. They get to interact with their peers. They see social proof, all that stuff. Ideally, we'll see how this plays out, but ideally, just like Alicia does in her group, we want to get to the point where you're doing this becomes the primary source of new business for you, not just from the free charity workouts, but when you do launches, front end offers, things like that, you do them inside your group first. Those people are your warmest audience, and they're the ones that are going to be the most likely to take advantage of those offers.
Yeah, because I can see that big picture. Like, I can see, because I saw Alicia's group from infancy to what it is today, and I was just like, holy crap, that just happened overnight. Like, but did I think you referenced something in one of your videos that she rarely has to post.
I was just talking, she was over that a couple weeks ago, and we were talking about this. She's like, you know, social media, I'm just not a huge fan. I'm like, girl, your entire business is generated from social media. She's like, I know, but I just don't, you know, like being, and that's the same way I feel. It's a necessary evil as far as I see it. It's just something that we have to leverage because it's too good to ignore. And so, yeah, I wouldn't want to be, and Aaron and I will be building out our Facebook group, not this one, but the one for local by referral. We're going to have to be doing the same thing. We're going to follow the same model. But she said, yeah, she tries to post 2 or 3 times a day. And then she uses, and this is, I don't even know if I should say this. It's just our group. Alicia, I don't think she's going to mind me saying it. It's not a big deal. But anyway, she has her admin engage and respond, you know, to a lot of the questions. that's what she, for a lot of stuff, that's what she's doing. She's delegating, and that's just smart business.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I need to be a little more specific on, okay, where am I getting hung up? And quite frankly, it probably is nothing other than I just have, as always, too many things. And I just need to get a little more clear on, okay, do this today and that's a win. Do this tomorrow and that's a win. And before I know it, it'll be done.
I hear you. I hear you. Hey, before I forget, let me ask you, when is 10-year anniversary?
So our actual 10-year anniversary is October 30th. And so we're celebrating it on November 3rd.
Okay, so it's a bit crunch time. This is big push time then for that. Yeah.
Yeah, like I need to be sending out the emails.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about, Aaron and I were talking about the Tom Jacobs Master Your Business. Adrian's coming to that. And, one of the things that a lot of people don't understand, I did this for years at MPE, is putting butts in seats. Putting butts in seats is the most challenging thing there is to do from a marketing perspective. Getting people to spend money. You're doing something free that's for your clients, but still, they got to set aside that date. They got to get in their car. They got to show up somewhere.
Well, booze helps.
Yeah, booze definitely helps. You know what else you might think about too is food trucks. I mean, rather than catering, is doing food trucks. That's a possibility.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea actually, because that's what last time we had one of these. It was like everybody was getting pretty happy, and it's like, oh, okay, let's bye.
Yeah. But yeah, you definitely need to get on that marketing for that event for sure.
Yeah. Yes. Booze.
Yeah.
What I thought you said the first time. I was like, what?
How red did my face get today?
Well,
so I get it. Like, I really do get the big picture of it all. It's just a matter of, I need to take the information that Chris thankfully shared, his landing pages, and I need to be a little more specific, like, hey, this is where I'm getting hung up, because obviously it's not that I don't understand the concepts. It's just, I think, putting it together and getting it done.
Yeah, and it's breaking through inertia. That's the hardest part. It's getting from full stop to 5 miles per hour. But from there, as long as the momentum is maintained, then you begin to accelerate, and that's always the objective in any anything that we're doing in life.
Right. Yeah. So that's two big drivers. Will be October 25th is one health fair, which will be at a company that has 750 employees. Not that all 750 will be coming to our booth, but then the other one is at our charity partner. They have an employee appreciation day. So we have to provide a gift for them. And then also I was going to use this as another platform to get the corporate side is not necessarily our ideal customer, but this hospital definitely is our ideal customer.
And so, so this is, you got a lot on your plate in the next 30 days. But if you could get even something started with your Smart Start before that health fair and that corporate thing, because that's one of the next things we want to move into, is basically being able to go to small businesses, small corporations, things like that, and say, hey, look, not big ones that might have in-house health solutions, but smaller, medium-sized ones, maybe 50 to 100 employees, places like that you can just say, listen, if you want to improve the productivity and the profitability of your business, we'll help you with the health and wellness side of it. Just send your people to our Facebook group. It's free. They have an opportunity to learn from us, get outstanding high-level coaching from the best people in Indianapolis. And if they want to attend workouts, we encourage them to come in. It's only $10, and we donate it to charity. That's a pretty compelling offer.
Right. I know that's when I told it to the corporate HR person, she was just like, oh my gosh, this is great. She goes like, oh, I'll join it today. And I'm like, I haven't quite.
Yeah.
That start. I was like, oh yeah, okay, great. I'll friend you.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Real quick, before I forget, the other two factors from the tipping point. Number one was the law of the few. That's the connectors, maven, salesman. Number two is a stickiness factor of whatever it is that you're doing. And, it's something that compels people to have a sustained attention span. And this is certainly the health and wellness and providing a solution. And then the third is the power of context. And that I forgot to make my note on that. But anyway, I'll share more on that. But a couple other things regarding Smart Start. Here it is, context, follow model of divine. Oh, yeah. Interesting thing. In the tipping point, Gladwell used the example of, maybe you've seen it or at least heard of it, the movie, The Divine Sister, Divine Sister of the Yaya Sisterhood, Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood. Anybody see that or hear that? No? Okay. I'm happy to see it because I have two daughters, and it's actually a very good movie. But it was a book first, and it sort of went viral, really, because so many middle-aged women bought into the whole message and just started talking about it. And when the book was initially launched, it didn't do very well at all. But then all these women got behind it and started talking about it, and it just exploded, and that's why they ultimately made a movie out of it. So the context there for us is, if your target market is middle-aged women, they're connectors too. So it's like you're getting the benefit of number one and number three of Gladwell's three tips for tipping point. The other thing is I want to mention regarding Smart Start. I just was making some notes this morning about contests that we could do inside of that, and with your existing members, your prospects, things like that. Something, and I'll write this up, but just the idea off the top of my head was something along the lines of, hey, just invite. Well, here's the contest. You can win, and this is sort of based a little bit, to tell parenthetically, based a little bit on Vince Gabriel, I think is the way he pronounces his last name, post that he did in Virtual Fitness Mastermind a few months ago. I've mentioned it before. I need to share that with all you guys. It's very compelling. And in Vince's post, he talked about how he did a contest, gave away, the offer was he gave away three, I think it was 4 or 6 week front, like a challenge type thing. He gave that away as to the winners. And one of the people who won it was this woman who really bought into their whole system, got great results, and started talking about it like crazy on Facebook and other places. So she is sort of the epitome of what Gladwell calls a connector or a maven. She's a high influence person. And so what I was thinking is, one of the things that we could look at doing is just telling your prospects and your clients, hey, just add 10 people to the group. And for every 10 people that you add, what we'll do as the business owner, I'll donate $1 for every person that gets added to our group, or 50 cents, whatever you want to do, for every person that gets added to our group in the next 2 weeks. We're doing this referral contest. And if for everybody who adds at least 10 people, you get entered into a contest to win whatever, a 4-week transformation challenge or something along those lines. So there's a little bit of out-of-pocket expense, but it could be very dramatic in terms of getting people to add. Contests work very well. So that's something that we'll be looking at in terms of growth. We'll be looking at a lot of things, but there's just so much opportunity.
How do you track that? Yeah,
so the tracking mechanism would be this. It would be on your honor, but here's how it would work. Is you tell them, and we'll have to flesh this out a little bit, but you tell them, add 10 people to the group, and then within 24 or 48 hours after those people are approved, you'd have to make sure that whoever's doing your approvals gets all the approvals done on a timely basis. After those people are approved, 24 hours later, we need you, the person who added them, to come into the group and welcome all these people and tag them in your post. So that way you know, hey, this is the person who referred these 10 people.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot of things that we can do, and we'll continually think of ways that we can grow this. The most important thing is that we get buy-in from you guys and that you're on board and want to move forward. All right, Aaron, anything else?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Hopefully next week I can say done.
All right, excellent. Chris, let's jump down to you then, brother. Let us know how things are going and anything we can help you with.
Well, what's happening, guys? Aaron, if you need my help, all you need to do is ask.
Thank you,
All right.
Chris.
So what's going on? So we secured 75 challengers in our 28-day challenge. They are in our program currently, and we're just making sure we, fulfill and do a good job and convert as many as we possibly can towards the end of the month. So that's going really well. So we got this is week 1 right now. So we're just getting them in the door, getting them taken care of. So that's going great. Smart Start is going really well. Now the focus has been on getting partners involved more. So I've been scheduling out over the next few months various partners to try to get them involved and feature them and, do a tour of their facility. And today I went and got a massage that was given complimentary so that I could, feature them as well. They're partners of ours. And so I'm going to do a post later on about my experience. And then next month we have them on the books to come in and be a featured speaker with chair massages and everything happening here at our location. So,
Awesome.
yeah, so we've been lining up with everybody over the next few months into the new year.
Are you going to videotape that, Chris, when they come in?
Yeah, I'm trying to do everything live on Facebook. We did a chiropractor last week or 2 weeks ago that did not go that great. And you saw me posting about the audio. The audio wasn't that great. So I'm still trying to find a solution on how we can get good audio with Facebook Live.
Let me ask you a question on that. Are you filming it off the phone?
It was on the iPad.
Okay, so I don't know this for sure, but one thing I do know for sure is you need lavalier mics. Did you? Right. Yeah. Do you have a lavalier?
I figured that, but I really haven't found a solution that was reasonable just yet for that.
Okay, lav mics are pretty cheap, but what you'd need is, like, if you're talking with 2 people, you're going to need 2. If it's you and your partner, you're going to need 2 lavs, and there's only 1 input on the phone or an iPad. So hopefully there's a splitter jack. I'll look into it and see, but hopefully there's like a splitter you can put in your phone or your iPad, and that way you can plug in 2 lavs. That would be perfect because you can get the lavs for like $15.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure, like, with the distance as well, because the iPad's going to have to be back a little ways, and I don't know how long those cords came or anything like that.
Yeah, you can. I've got on mine. I've got about a 20-foot cord, so they come fairly. You can get them fairly lengthy, and that's as far as you're going to want to get away from.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So didn't mean to interrupt, but go ahead.
No. Yeah, I need to get some clarity on that. So. Yeah, that's kind of my next step because I want to make sure that it's good quality when we do get these folks, in there for their presentation. So that's going really well. And I've also been using this a lot as a downsell. So anytime we're on the phone with somebody and, we pre-qualify them and for whatever reason it's not a good fit, the last thing that we do is say, well, let us give you something free. And we outline this Smart Start, and then we get them connected with that as best we can. Same thing with our walk-ins, any walk-ins that come in. We made some flyers, and I posted some business cards that have the Get Fit Kent County on there. So anybody who walks through our door, if they're not signing up for something, they're getting Get Fit Kent County put in their hands.
Beautiful. That's it right there, man. Yeah,
that's going really well, and we've seen some customers come in from it. Not a ton right now, but we've definitely got a few sign-ups. We like a couple of the challengers came from that. A couple people bought some nutrition stuff, so it's going well. We're starting to see the return on the investment. Checking for charity, is going really well. We have a ton of check-ins every day. I just have my admin did the numbers. I don't have them right now. I'll let you guys know the next time we come for with some more specific numbers on how much we're going to donate to our charity partner, as well as our numbers for check-ins. But I mean, there's a ton every day, so that's going really well. And we dropped the challenge this month too, where we did. We're getting all of our fall apparel in, so we are throwing out there a free long sleeve T-shirt for anybody who whoever checks in the most in the month of October.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's a little challenge that we threw out there. And we're also doing a membership challenge for a Smart Start. I forgot to mention that. I don't know how well that's going to go, but I just threw out there a challenge where we're going to give away some various, like reports and books and things like that we have available. So I was going to start throwing some of those out there, things that are just kind of sitting on my computer that would be maybe valuable for them. And I've been throwing out there. So I set a 500 member goal from Smart Start, and when we hit that goal, I was going to upload the books to the site for everybody. So I did a video on that and threw that out there as well. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm looking forward to the content that you just put on board so we can start actually marketing and running ads to this group. And I haven't dug into that. That's my agenda from Monday. And also just prepping for 2018. I know that Camelia is going to have me working on a marketing calendar, and I'm just going to meet my annual meeting with my team, with my some of my other coaches and such, to dig into sort of what Adrian was talking about, just revamping and refreshing everybody on the vision, mission, goals for the new year. And then lastly would be, excuse me, we're like at the tipping point ourselves, so we are just about at capacity right now. And so we need to take some next steps over the next few months. There's going to be some pretty drastic changes for us where we're going to need to expand. We're just focused on filling every hour of the day right now that we have available in the space that we have available. It looks like we're going to have to expand into our yoga space because our yoga space is dark throughout the day. So you got morning, it's a little bit, and then nighttime after 7 o'clock. But I mean, the yoga room is dark most of the time. So we're going to be expanding our training services into that yoga space and fill that next by January 1. So that's sort of our next step to hit our 300 member goal as well.
Excellent. That's outstanding. And then, so you sell nutrition services and products. Do you do supplements as well?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And that's another thing we're going to be outlining. Aaron and I will be working with Rick Streb and Jason Hunter to sort of put together an SOP on nutrition with inside the Smart Start Selling Nutrition. It won't be contingent upon Pro Diets and JLab Pro. It'll be functional for regardless what system services you're using. But we want you guys to be able to monetize that group for nutrition, because that will be one of the easiest. It will be faster and simpler to make nutrition sales, and of course keep pushing for the training sales as well. But want to be able to generate revenue from nutrition because you're at capacity or very close to it. Adrian, you're in the same boat. Aaron, Linda, you're close. Well, I mean, you always want more, but so it's just a great way to increase revenue without additional you guys all know the drill. So we're going to work on that. Chris, can you just talk briefly about, I know you mentioned the last time with your challenge when you said 75 and Calvin Richards was like 75. And so 75 is a good number. That's a really nice number you got in on your challenge. You said you generated them exclusively or predominantly through Facebook ads. Is that right?
Yeah, a lot of them, some of it was internal, our current members as well, of course. And then everything outside of that was through Facebook ads or maybe partners.
Okay. All right, great. Are you doing your own Facebook ads or do you outsource?
Well, no, we do our own.
You do your own. Outstanding. That's great. So are you doing that, or is there somebody else, your wife or somebody else doing it?
Yeah, right now I do it all.
That's a strong skill to develop. Yeah.
So let me ask, if you don't mind, Eric. So Chris, when you drive your clients to your facility for a massage speaker or chiropractor transformation seminar, whatever it is you're doing, right? When you drive these people in, is it a mixture of both your current members and outsiders? Is it just specifically for outsiders? Is this just specifically for insiders? How are you doing it? What's your method?
So we've only done it once with the chiropractor, and that time we opened it up to everyone. So our current members were notified about it as well as everyone on Smart Start. We pretty much blasted it out everywhere.
And how many non-members did you have show?
Let's see. There was probably about 5 to 10, I would say.
Okay.
There wasn't a huge outpouring of non-members, but we definitely had a few, and then a couple of those actually signed up for a challenge.
So the reason I bring it up is the last time, last two times I went out to California to work with Paul Fetters, I had written him a newspaper piece, right? And he was just genius with what he did with this 20-pager, right? People who had not received it, this thing was sitting in their chair when they filed in. And every one of these got to pick this thing up, and while they were waiting on the meeting to start, they're thumbing through his promotional piece. This is a really good knockoff idea for you guys who do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is, it's something. Okay, so everybody's doing good. A lot of stuff Aaron Lindauer has to deal with on top of being pregos. But everybody sounds like they're doing good. Adrian, anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Not that I can think of right now. Anything else I'm posting about it in the group?
Okay, fine. Anybody else got anything then? No? All right, very good. Well, this was an enjoyable call. I like it. It was a manageable time frame. Everybody has some good news and some challenges, of course, but that's the way it always is. That's business, right? All right, guys. Well, thank you all very much. Really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll just see you on Facebook.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.